the FNL Network talk show.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the FNL Talk Show. I am Sean, and I am joined by my FNL Angels. We've got the beautiful Diana, and we've got Holly, and we've got Kay. So I'd like to say, hey, to Kay and everybody else. And Diana, I don't really follow him, but you're talking about Revenge for Vanderpump. What's that all about?
Okay, so in a nutshell, everyone has been talking about the Scandoval, which is Tom Sandoval, who's on Vanderpump Rules, cheated on his longtime girlfriend on the show, Ariana, with another cast member who is Ariana's best friend. So all that's going on, and Ariana is out here living her best life. First off, she got a role in a Lifetime movie. Now it's rumored she's going to be on Dancing with the Stars. Then she was making out with a hottie at Coachella. And now she just got invited to the White House correspondent dinner. And that is how you win a breakup.
By getting cheated on.
With his white nail polish out here, he ain't winning nothing.
I think the very best, breakup story is Melania Trump, because he stuck it in a porn star. He tried to quiet it, and now he could go to jail for sticking his willy in another woman while a little Baron was being born. So I'm just like, his wife wasn't barren, but she had a Baron, and he had to pay to sleep with his little mushroom penis to a porn star. And he's like, oh, don't tell that it's only 3 inches because I'm 6'4". And now it's all over the news, and he got indicted. So that's my favorite, story for revenge. I mean, and meanwhile, she's going to get 50%, so she's just hanging in there. So God bless. So, what about you other ladies? Any good stories about revenge on being cheated on?
No, honest. Go ahead. No, I was gonna say, no, the Diana story is giving me full on life. The idea that he would cheat on you with your best friend, that's some serious hate and dislike coming from both of them. So the fact that she's just embracing love and light and moving on is I love it for her. I love it. I can't give it to Melania because I don't like Melania, and I don't think Melania is going nowhere. She knows where her bread is buttered. I don't know. She's gonna be putting money on Trump books for the rest of her life. I don't know, child.
Here's the funny part, because you mentioned about cheating on her with her best friend, or the other guy rather. So in this past week's episode, because all of this now, it's really unique that all this is happening because we're watching it unfold on screen. No one else knew that the cheating was going on. It came out after, but it happened while they were filming. So the girl who Tom cheated on with, she went out with another guy and found out he wasn't separated from his wife. And she's going on and on I would never do such a thing. I don't mean to cheat on someone and not tell them. And I'm like, oh my God. So you're basically saying you're better because it was ridiculous.
So fake. Oh,
yeah.
That sounds so juicy though. I love when stuff gets me angry.
It's so messy. It gives me life.
I love it. And any thoughts about, what just broke today, that Tucker Carlson was fired from Fox, and he's their #1 rated guy. The Republicans kiss his booty. Supposedly Trump was following his storyline because he doesn't have one, and then Don Lemon from CNN was fired. So I think, they should form their own show called Tucking Your Lemon. I don't know. I mean, what do you ladies think? Holly, any opinions about getting tucked or lemoned?
Honestly, I think it's so overdue, because the truth is it's not just Trump, and it's not just that whole Fox scandal. Honestly, I'm going to be very careful when I say this about Fox. I like Fox, but sometimes they're a little gray in their areas. They're a little, I'm not going to lie. They have been known to do some things. So of course, stuff is going to come about them. As far as this voting stuff, I feel like if it's not Trump, it's somebody. I feel like that was going to happen regardless of him. I definitely feel like in politics, you will get targeted. I definitely know that somebody's going to pull a file on you, especially when you're in the limelight. Somebody's going to, hide stuff. Somebody's going to So it's all underhanded, everybody's pulling up a file on somebody's email gets hacked, so it's like I said, Fox does people dirty, in any kind of presidency. I mean, these are politicians. These are not your average people. I mean, especially, in campaigns, these are people that get dirty and grimy, for heaven's sake. I mean, you're going to be cutthroat to get where you want to go. I mean, your entire life is not built on you. It's about an empire. So, I mean, of course, this stuff is coming up about them. I want the truth to win out in any situation, because you never know who to be for in these type of predicaments. I want the truth to be won out. I want to know how much they got over on us American citizens and us voters and us people that stand for the truth about these networks. That's what I want to know. Can you handle the truth type of thing? I want to know.
I was excited to see Tucker Carlson. Like it was just like a puff of smoke and then a little bow tie spinning. I mean, like, just because on Friday, apparently he was like, see you guys on Monday. And they were running promos for his show today, even. Just the fact that he got ousted so quickly, and that it's probably not even Dominion related, which is interesting to me, because so many people have been peddling lies on that network. And so for it to probably be the sexual harassment that will take him down, I mean, it is Roger Ailes' network. The sexual harassment is what took him down, right? It's what took Bill O'Reilly down from that same network. And, they had a whole film about it, about how Fox News has perpetuated a lot of sexual harassment and misogynistic, chauvinistic behavior. So I cannot say that I'm surprised, but it is a big deal for that network to oust their number one guy. And that is my prediction, is that the reason why is the sexual harassment claim that was made by his booker on his show. So I think it's interesting for him to lose that platform, and I think it's going to be a huge vacuum on that network. And I'm interested to see them scramble and try and fill it, and then also to see what he's going to do, because he's not just going to shut up. I wonder if he's going to try and run for office, if he's going to get involved in politics. So that's going to be interesting to see.
I saw a really funny meme today, and it said that now Morgan Wallen fans have true reasons to be upset that since Tucker, what the hell is what's his name? Tucker Carlson, yeah, tongue-tied. That's his name now, since he was fired. Because I don't know if you guys heard about Morgan Wallen, but like he's this like super racist country singer, because he got caught saying like the N-word 2 years ago, and people still had him like selling records and all that, but he was supposed to perform a show, and like 5 minutes he canceled, like even after the opening acts had performed, because he's claiming that he lost his voice. But there was a security guard who's alleging no, he was just too drunk to perform. So like, yeah, just it's a big news day for everyone.
It is.
Sean, I want to know why people didn't say anything when his daughter was harassed, like Trump. I'm not for or against any president, but that comment about, Ivanka Trump, his daughter, in saying, how do you feel about the role of the first lady, and insinuating that incest there with him. I don't know any other president that the media has tried to say that they're, incest as far as that goes. And, they kind of want to take cheap shots at him. For anyone that wants to take a cheap shot at Biden, I mean, like I said, I'm for or against no president at all, but don't insinuate incest or this or that, or saying that everyone's, a womanizer and this and that. I mean, yeah, that's coming out. I'm glad it's coming out. Don't be touching women. Let's respect all women. But like, I don't know. There's just been some weird headlines about, anyway, and targeting too many people.
No, it's all right. But Holly, years ago, he had said about Ivanka when she was modeling at 16 or whatever, that isn't my daughter beautiful? She wasn't my daughter, I would date her. So he put it out there. I think that's where it all stemmed from. And then, they were all with Epstein, Clinton as well, like, who was, recruiting young women underage to go to a secret island for like these wacko jacko sex parties, supposedly. So Clinton was a regular, Trump was a regular. People wouldn't necessarily be that surprising to, be little horn dogs and maybe, age inappropriate as well. So I think, it's kind of that energy around them. And I tend to believe most rumors have some sort of truth to them. If it's something that's really perpetuated or out in the media, like, is Beyonce's baby Beyonce's? I don't know. I mean, I think there's like some truth to whatever's going on.
Let's fight, Sean Bennett. Let's go.
There's something. That's what I say. I don't know.
Incest, right and left. Yeah.
I also just want to say, what was Barack Obama minding his business and being the great president ever? So I'm not like Holly. I have a favorite. So
no, Barack looked like he actually slept with his wife, unlike Clinton and unlike Trump. Both their wives look like pissed off lesbians. But, Michelle looked like she was getting some. She was happy. Even the kids seemed happy. They're like, yeah, mom knocks the boots. I'm glad for her. That's why they look like a happy family, unlike all the others. But, poor Chelsea, her face wasn't her fault, but whoa, didn't get the good genes in that family either.
And then poor Elon Musk family, the poor Musk family,
At least they got the money. So since we're kind of on this topic and we diverged a little bit, what about Dominion? Do we think it's going to change anything as far as news reporting? I mean, it seems like infotainment is where all news stations went and everybody has, a direction. So CNN clearly is going to go more liberal. And I think they're afraid often to even offend people by giving out the full truth and different things of that nature. And Fox, of course, knows what their viewers want to hear. It seemed like for a while they were pushing DeSantis until DeSantis is down in the polls. And now it seems like they're back with Trump because that's what their viewers like. So do you think this is just the price you pay to cater to your viewers? Or do you think it's going to change anything? Is Tucker a sign of that? Or it's just all unrelated? Whoever would like to go. I don't know is really my answer. I mean, I think it might be a slight awareness of like watching what you could be accountable for in court, but that's about it, is what I would say.
I think it's gonna make it.
Go ahead, Kai.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think it is gonna make a difference because I think you are going to have to, especially when you talk about a concerted effort, because what happened at Fox was it was a concerted effort, right? This is what we're seeing as the case, like as depositions were going on before it actually went to trial, before it got settled out of court, right? They started leaking more and more information, just showing you like how much actual data and receipts they had and how behind the scenes nobody believed it. But they were peddling this lie, and it was such a concerted effort by everyone. And it was nobody's true belief that he had actually lost. It was nobody's true belief that something was wrong with the voting machines. They had kind of coalesced around the idea that this is what people are believing. No one else is peddling this. So if we're selling this, we're going to get all the eyeballs on us. So I think it's no small thing. I mean, they didn't get as much money as they wanted, right? They got half of that. But when you get hundreds of millions of dollars, that is going to have an effect on your news organization. So I don't know if that was why Tucker is out, but I think for sure they're going to be more careful about what they see. About what they say, even if it's just allegedly, reportedly, allegedly, it's not going to be speaking things like they're facts anymore because they know that now they're open for lawsuits and things will go to litigation, things will go to court, So I think it's going to be a huge watershed moment when we look back 10 years from now to be like, wow, remember when Fox was off the chain and it would say anything? I think for them, the age and the time of saying anything is going to be out because you just can't move on from hundreds of millions of dollars and having people just saying whatever they want. It's going to be, in my opinion, a lot of allegedly, reportedly, this is what I think, and not necessarily this is what I know all the time.
Well, the My Pillow guy just lost a lawsuit as well for lying about the same stuff and like being like, oh, whoever, it would go against me, you could sue me, ha ha ha. And they did, and they won $5 million. So we'll see how other celebrities even speak. I don't know. What do you say, Holly?
Honestly, with the defamation of character thing, I think that a lot of things in court get waived. Some various things, you know, how some things get pushed back, some things get moved forward, and it all depends on the, you know, what's in the news and things like that. Who's paid off, what red flags are already raised up in scenarios, and especially when it comes to money. Oh my God! Always when it comes to money, is there going to be like a, you know, an investigation of some sort? Always. Because everything just boils down to love of money and money in general. And so, but the defamation of character, I have had that happen several times to me, and I kind of just turn the other cheek. So I want to say, when it comes to that, there are a lot of things, there are a lot of legal cases that you can ignore. Defamation of character, even though there are much worse cases that cannot be ignored. Defamation of character, when it's truth and when you can find factual evidence, that sort of thing. And like Kay said, when there's more money involved, that the IRS and certain things and things that just kind of line up, when that's already involved, and that's very serious, very, very, very serious. And certain things are just waved off. And I truly do believe, and I'm glad that this is kind of still under investigation and kind of just let go, because I love in politics, everyone thinks that because something is hushed, it doesn't go answered. And when meanwhile, there's still a trial on it. Certain things are still surfacing, coming up to the surface about it. And I love it when things can get solved and closed. I mean, that's just my take on it. I really do hope that, you know, that this stops people who are in that mode of you know, of taking down someone and taking down their name and slandering and spreading lies about them. It needs to stop, because that's a real thing and it really does hurt people. But I think that this whole money thing, and I think that they need to do more digging. I always think that there's something more when you investigate. So
What about you, Diana?
You cannot just get on TV and say whatever the hell you want. Yeah, we have freedom of speech, but it's meant so in a way to protect you from the government, pretty much. That was the whole original thing. Like, you could speak against the government, no one was going to punish you. You can't yell fire in a crowded building, and you can't make up lies and claim it as regular information. I always say this, even on Instagram on a much smaller scale. I consider myself a journalist. I am a reporter for reality TV. I see all these fan pages. They'll be like, DM me with gossip, and they'll post lies about these reality stars and like claim like, I got the scoop first. And it's like, no, you can be sued for this. Yes, it's very hard to prove these lawsuits, but you don't want to take the chance. You have to do your homework. You are doing your viewers a disservice if you do not do your homework. It's not fair to just spit out whatever you want, no matter what platform you have. If you have one follower, or if you are Fox News with millions of people watching, you need to tell the truth. Now, can you state your opinion? Absolutely. If they think the election was rigged, fine. But as Kay mentioned earlier, there needed to be an allegedly, supposedly, I think, you know what I mean? You can't just claim something as fact if you don't have the receipts to back it up.
Well, and what I thought, you know, today's firings brought up for me is like how cutthroat the entertainment industry and big business can be in general. Because like you were saying, Tucker was like, see you on Monday. And then on Monday morning, they called him like, I need to come in today. You know, and then Don Lemon, he even posted, 17 years with CNN. They first took away his primetime show. They put him on the morning show. It didn't look like a good sign, but I guess they probably told him like, hey, Don, we need you. We're trying to start a new thing. And then they just got rid of him for whatever reason. Supposedly he said some things that were misogynistic, but on a very small level, like, Nikki Haley was past her prime at 51, like something like that, not, calling her horrible words or names or what have you, just maybe not the best choice of words at the time. So what do you ladies think? I just think it just shows like how evil the businesses. You could be somewhere 17 years, you could be their top rated host, and then just overnight. Now, yes, Tucker was like saying how he hates his bosses, how he hates Trump, and everything else behind the scenes. And some people might get fired for doing that too and being exposed, but to me, it just really kind of shows it doesn't matter how big you are, that like just money talks and corporate entities talk and the entertainment industry talks, and no one is bigger than that at the end of the day, is what it seems like to me. I don't know what you ladies happen to think.
Yeah, there needs to be some accountability, but things need to be analyzed on a case-by-case basis. Because I always think there's room for growth. It's not fair to hold someone responsible for something if it's evident that they changed. But at the same time, if they really messed up, again, it goes back to having a platform. You don't want to have someone have that voice if it turns out that their values, their morals aren't that great.
And I think that's not necessarily just the entertainment industry. I mean, capitalism eats its own, right? Like that's just how capitalism as a system works. But I think honestly, Gen Z has it right. Like, I don't think my generation or the generation previous to me had it correct, but I think Gen Z has it right because they don't base their whole life around a career. They are not loyal to a company. They will hop from place to place. When past generations were not doing that, we were all loyal to the company. You were somewhere 10, 15, 20 years. You thought that was great. And you took abuse no matter how they treated you. And what we know about so many companies now, and then, even then when we were being loyal in past generations, is that they're going to use you for as long as they can. They don't have any loyalty for you either, because that's the capitalist system. And so I love that Gen Z is like, we're not going to continue to be abused. We're going to use the company for the ways we can use it. And we're going to not focus just on work and capitalism, but on having fulfilling lives and altruism and charity and, all these other kind of facets of life. So I mean, I think every industry can be cutthroat, and that's a shame. That's just capitalism, I guess.
Do you agree, Holly?
Honestly, I believe in capitalism, but I truly do believe that that democracy is no longer we're dwindling in democracy. I believe that that things are being pushed toward kind of monarchy-ish type of existence. I feel like those that are in charge are even that, like it's like an alpha and a beta type of situation on these things. I feel like Kay is absolutely right. I feel like the elderly are being let go more and more. I feel like this Generation Z is not even in my generation, and I won't give my age away, but there are those that like Kay said, it doesn't matter. They don't need to go and clock in. There are remote jobs out there. They're making their own living. They're getting on YouTube and spinning a bunch of hits and figuring out ways to cook and this and that. And they're bringing back skills for living in life should it come to the rock ages again, or the mountain ages, again, and survival skills that I actually had to work for. I mean, I literally had to take these subjects in school. I was advised. My mother didn't teach me. She only taught me what she knew, and even that wasn't enough. I mean, this Generation Z, no one taught them, and yet they're bringing it back and teaching us now. And it's like the craziest thing. They're sewing and they're cooking and they're TikToking and they're making a career, out of nothing. And it's crazy. And so this is just causing a particular generation and a lot of attention on this particular generation. Meanwhile, it's causing, those that are in power to just kind of rise up. It's just kind of causing an imbalance. And pretty soon, everyone's just going to have to lean on their own skills because of this. And then meanwhile, the agenda is going to push for like one leader. And in this one leader, who knows what's going to happen, because they won't even have the skills that this Generation Z, like Kay said, is going to put into existence. I mean, it's going to be totally not just off balance, but it's going to be total survival alpha beta again,
Well, that being said, it was just Earth Day. So if we have to live off the earth, is there anything you all are trying to do to survive? I wouldn't survive. I'm bougie and helpless. I don't watch any of these TikTok things. I think they're stupid. I'm like past that generation. I'm like the old man. I don't get it. Why are they doing it in reverse? I don't understand this. What is going on? Explain this to me. To me, it makes absolutely no sense. Like if I can't get something at Whole Foods, I won't eat. I'll be dead. I'm not going to hunt. I look at the poor little deer looking at me. I'll be like, all right, live. I'll have some more grass, and then I'll probably poop myself and be dead in a week. So, I hope you're totally wrong with this theory. But that being said, any thoughts, anything that you're doing for the planet? Do you care about the Earth Day thing? Not really. Maybe I'll switch it back to you, Diana.
I recycle, that's doing my part. I also don't eat meat, but that's not really, it wasn't coming from protecting the earth, but I have heard that some of the meat plants do contribute to pollution. So if you eat less meat, or if you try to eat one meatless meal a week, you're doing your part to help with pollution. So, I like to think I'm doing my part there. But am I, actively going out and picking up trash? No. Should I? Maybe.
Your hair color is too cute for trash picking. That's all I gotta say. And talk about cute hair, Kay. Anything about Earth Day or not really?
Well, I love the earth, right? It's great, but life is full of priorities, friends. And that's just not my ministry. It's not my area. It's not my passion per se. I'm not actively out trashing the earth or, but it's not on my top, it's not on the top of my list. Like Diana said, I'm the same. I do my recycling, I eat a meatless meal a week. I have a daughter that's a vegetarian, so I feel like I'm doing my part with her. But I'm bad, guys. I really don't. What else should we be doing? I just think recycling. I don't know what else should we be writing our congressman? I don't know. I guess we should be writing our congressman and say, don't pollute, but I feel like California does great on that. I heard it on the radio that we're by 20, we were looking to have 50% of zero emissions vehicles by 2025. We met that goal this year already. So I have nothing to do with that. I drive a Nissan Versa, that is on gas, but still I felt yeah, good for California,
Why not? Yeah. What about you, Holly? Since you're already to hunt and to kill, and you've been TikToking survival, what are you doing to survive on this great earth? You're Talking Jay, yeah. Hunger Games. I love it.
Yeah, I am. I'm next thing you know, I have a spear. I am like Laura Croft, man. You're gonna see these bands, and then a spear, and then I'm gonna just go into cave woman mode. Yeah. Honestly, I'm staying off the roads more because that's what they're encouraging. They're encouraging a whole lot of crap that I just really don't want to do, but I'm already doing it. So what's the point? They encourage this. They said the same thing in the pandemic. Stay off the road, throw your crap away. Don't be lazy about it. Use less water, that sort of thing, and just do your part. Honestly, guys, I'm gonna get real with Kay. I'm gonna get real with Diana. I'm gonna get real with the host Sean right now and say this: it's complete crap. The earth is already sick. She's been sick for century after century after century. This is my hot button because it's people are just saying stuff at this point just to you can't win. They're saying to get off the roads, but the next thing you know, this Pizza Hut and these miscellaneous commercials come on your television that we don't even watch anymore because we're all about Netflix and stuff like that you can access for free. And they're advertising. Next thing you know, you want to go get a burger. You want to go get a pizza and spend more money to, just to build the economic rise and financial rise. And then so we can go into even more debt as a society. So it's they're saying one thing and they're saying another. I feel like the earth is sick already, but honestly, I really want to lessen oil spills. I want to keep our nature and our wildlife and our sea life safer. I feel like we need to watch over our fish more, our whales, that sort of thing. No oil spills, no more oil spills. And honestly, the volcanoes, when the ground is already unstable, I feel like random volcanoes are erupting in places because the earth is sick, and those are the pains. Like, that's what she's saying. She's like, screw humans, get off my land. So I feel like she just like, stop hurting and stop being bad. And honestly, these gases that they're pumping in the air, that's kind of messing with people's immune system, but that's debatable and arguable anyway. I say just don't go outside, don't spread sickness, that sort of thing, but also just like stay at home, which sucks anyway. So that's my take.
So never leave the house. Is your solution, Holly? I like it. Agoraphobia, the new way to live. Lonely, but good for the planet. Why not?
There you go.
And then if you have to go out, you'll spear something and you'll live. And I'll be dead on my way to closed Whole Foods because you'll be spearing. I don't know. You'll be like, he has a big egg. I could eat him for days. Who knows? I mean, but I've kind of done what Diana and Kay've done. I've basically cut down on my meat consumption because honestly, that's what I've heard is the number one thing. And plus, it seems just like a nice thing to do. I mean, when did a cow piss me off? I mean, they're gentle, dumb, big creatures who just stand around and poop a lot, kind of like a lot of my family. But that's another story. So, but you don't eat family members. So now I'm eating less meat. I think it's good. Deforestation, supposedly it's for a lot of cattle. And yeah, supposedly, big farm industries in the US, they dump all the waste and all the materials into poor urban areas where people then have lower life expectancies and into their water systems and things that, the different pollutants from either farms or like say from factories that create a flint or these other type of issues. I mean, so I also think just too, as Americans, our portions are bigger. We're used to like just everything, over consuming. And I mean, I think if we like tone down our portions, if we had regulations as far as our food, like no Monsanto, like every other industrialized nation does, people would live longer, be healthier. But again, it's not profitable for the companies that be and the ones who fund our government. So I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. I mean, even with COVID, McDonald's killed as many people as COVID because it was mainly fat diabetics, where it's like, bye, grandma, sorry you got diabetes and a cough, and that's what was really going on. But the news only told half the story because there was like 0.9% were healthy people that were dying. There is however many of the long haulers or whatever, I don't know that percentage, but it seemed the vast majority who got it we're okay. But like the fear and the thing they didn't say, they're just like, well, if you have any, past
comorbidities or
yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Yes, I was thinking about it like obesity. It's like that wasn't it, like the morbidities, but the main one was obesity. But we don't talk about it, because it's going to ruin the sponsorships on the news for all the fast food chains that you don't like looking at, Holly, and everything. So I think, everybody does their part. And I think by keeping yourself healthy, you can actually keep the planet healthy as well, and also have less babies. Really, like how great are most of these children? Most of their parents are pieces of shit. Why do we need more of them as little babies? If you're fat, ugly, and unsuccessful, how do you think your kid's going to turn out better? Don't have a baby. We should have a test and a requirement before you have a baby. There should be a requirement. Not everybody should just pop them out like a litter, because that's really too many people. Then you need more cows. Then we're going to all have to spear for our food. These are just some of the solutions that I say. Not like quite like China, where the 2 baby minimum and like get rid of the baby girls, like cats down in the river. But, I really think we shouldn't, as a government, give more of a tax break if you have more kids. It should be the opposite, because we want, if you can afford those kids, if you can educate those kids, if you can get those kids health care, by all means, pop them out. But we do the opposite, and I think that's to keep people where they are. The rich stay rich. They normally don't have more than 2 kids, and the poor have a litter. I don't know. Doesn't seem right to me, but those are my takes on it. So I say Roe versus Wade is a good thing. Bring it back. It'll help our planet. Kill those babies. I'm kidding. I love babies. They're beautiful. I don't think I was held as a baby. I have anger issues. It's a whole other story. But anyhow, talking about babies, Diana, you're saying a young child was texting you. So tell us
Oh
about-
yeah, my two of my best friends have 7-year-old triplets, and they are the cutest things in the whole wide world. And they texted me out of the blue. I don't know who did it because they all share the same email, but I got Diana, heart eyes emoji, I love you with the heart, and it just made my day. They're the cutest.
My cousin's kid sends me poop emojis. I'm like, what is this? And at first I thought it was somebody I had a bad date with. I didn't even know how to respond. I'm like, don't have your kid just randomly text me. What if I'm drunk? I don't know what I'm going to say to this guy. I don't know who the heck it is who's texting me anything. You just saw, I went on an anti-baby tangent. It just depends on my mood. Some days I love a baby. Some days maybe I should be your babysitter. I don't know. But yeah, maybe don't give your kid my phone number. I don't know. What about you, Kay? Do you think kids should have phones, and how old, how young is too young? I don't know.
Oh, this is so funny because I teach a parent empowerment class, and we were just teaching about cyberbullying last week and trying to show the parents like all the different platforms, which is like hilarious nowadays. But most kids do have a phone, and I think it's fine. I just think you as a parent have to know what they're doing on the phone, and especially the apps, because I feel like for me, kids use apps so differently. Even now, if we're on the same app, if I'm on Instagram, I'm looking at pictures, I'm scrolling through maybe hairstyles or whatever, but my kids don't text. They message through Instagram. They're like, oh, Instagram's a messaging app to them, which is fascinating to me and blew my mind. But they're teenagers, and that is how they communicate. They don't text at all. Texting is like old people. They're like, why would I text? And they would never call anybody. They message through IG. So it's just so interesting, but you have to know, what they're doing and how they're communicating. I think just to cut it out completely and be like, no, you can't have a phone. You can't. It excludes them from something that's social and really important, and it helps them to feel included. And it's just an important part of life now for kids. And so I think anytime you make something taboo and you cut it out, it just makes kids want it more. So I think being able to allow them to have a phone, access social media, but then teaching them how to do so responsibly and having those safeguards up is really important. But I have nephews that are, well, how old is my nephew? 5, and 8, and they have better phones than I do. They have the latest iPhones, 13, 14s. I'm like, how? What are y'all even doing on the phones? They're just playing games, and they talk to their dad and do little stuff. But I have a couple of nephews always have the best phones, always, and so much younger than me, and I'm so jealous. I'm just like, oh, can I see it? Wow, the camera here is really hot, nice, impressive.
So now I learned if we want the latest phone, go to the park, make sure the nanny's not looking, and
That's
take
right.
the phone. There you go. It's an easier way than calling Verizon. All right.
Yeah, get some candy. They'll probably swap it out for some candy. You know how kids are.
Exactly.
Get a
lollipop. I'll take your iPhone 14. Do you think there's a certain age that kids should have phones or use them or not, or be monitored, Holly?
Oh, as far as the phone, I don't know. I think it's just a really weird coincidental thing. I think that Kay is absolutely right on that, as far as it's just the weirdest thing in my generation. And we're all supposed to, especially in the corporate world.
No, come back.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay. Yeah. So as far as the phone thing goes, it's weird. You're absolutely right, Kate. There's a whole generation out there that is it's making them unsocial. My niece, just she's able to post my taxes, and she might post them on Facebook, in a month, and she's 2. She's talking like she already knows. She's been FaceTiming me since she was 1.5. I'm like, it's just this crazy generation now. Email is always Yeah, email has always been brilliant. No one, like all generations, are going to be forced to use email at the end of the day. Corporations, this and that, in business, and in, I mean, it's going to be enforced. It was not, as I grew older, when I was younger, it was enforced, and I'm a millennial, for heaven's sake. But there's this next generation. I will be curious to know how they conduct business when they're older, because when they're younger now, we have to follow them. But as they grow older, I'm wondering if they're now going to have to follow a certain generation on that, and how that's going to look for them. I mean, they're able to post things. We're learning from them, but how much are they going to learn from us? How much are they going to learn from the generation before me? And I'm still learning from that. I mean, you have to follow certain protocols. So it's crazy.
It's funny that you specifically said emailing, because my daughter is at an elite college and she did not know how to compose an email until recently. Nobody in her class, and she was in all AP classes, super smart kids, they were all like, an email? Like, how do you even do that? That was foreign to them. It was almost like a rotary phone. So it's just crazy how fast things move, how quickly things move for them, and how they were just like, yeah, I remember me and my husband, we were just, I didn't believe it. I was like, y'all are playing. And it was her and a bunch of her friends. And they were like, no, like nobody knows how to do that. Like literally, not like nobody shoots emails. It was just like, nobody knows how to compose one. Like, how do you even make an email? It was crazy.
Well, now we can use artificial intelligence for that related. Well, I want to switch topics totally to something happy, because we've talked about the planet being dead, everybody having to eat less meat, me not letting babies every day, about who's sleeping with who, people in the media being fired. So now let's switch topics to like, what is an easy way, or what makes you always smile? Like for me, like, I don't care if it's like a breakup, I can play some bitter hate songs like Alanis Morissette, or some sort of like poppy song that says like, I don't need you. Or even like sometimes if I'm just like down in the dumps, I'll play like motivational talks like, yeah, I'm special. Yeah, I'm pretty. Yeah, people like me, and I don't know, just like I'm very auditory, I guess. Like, if I just hear something upbeat, it like makes me want to dance or in a better mood. Or if I hear affirmations, I'm like, yeah, Tony Robbins, I'm going to walk on fire. So anyhow, what about you ladies? What's the quickest way to make you smile or put you in a good mood?
For me, it's two Disney characters. One is Baymax from Big Hero 6. He is the big white marshmallowy looking robot who is everyone's personal healthcare companion, and he loves to help everyone, but sometimes he's a little chaotic while doing it, and it's just hysterical. The other is the Dumbo meet and greet character, which I just got to meet Dumbo the other night, and it was the best 5 minutes of my whole life, because he's so cute, and he wobbles around and he blinks at you and he shakes his little trunk, and like, I think I have something called cuteness aggression syndrome. And when something's so cute, like I either want to throw something or like punch a pillow or scream. And I'm like sitting in the line going like, Dumbo, I want to be Dumbo. So yeah, if you need to make me smile, just send me Baymax or the Dumbo meet and greet.
If you're so happy you want to knock Dumbo in the face, is that what you're saying? I love you, you're so cute. Poof. Yeah, exactly. Bye, Dumbo. As if he didn't have it hard enough in the circus, he had to escape that.
Right.
We all know his backstory. Dumbo rough, but I like it. What about you, Kay? What makes you happy?
What makes me happy, controversial for you, Sean? Babies. Babies. I was in church on Sunday, and I sat behind this baby that was so freaking adorable. Like, at any time during church when there was like a lull, I would just look up, and she was like, hi. She was adorable, and she had like a little short, like little page boy cut. Oh my gosh. And it was that same thing, Diana. I just wanted to squeeze her, like just squeeze her to death. I was like, oh, she's so adorable. But a cute baby for me. Oh my gosh. I love a cute baby. and I say specifically cute because I'm not a person that thinks all babies are cute. There are some ugly babies, and keep it moving with your ugly baby.
Yeah, how else can we get ugly adults? They had to start somewhere. They didn't just get, that ugly stick fell early for some people.
Oh, and I think good TV always make, like, if I can get an episode of House Hunters International and they're going to a city I like Paris or Spain or Mexico, it never fails to get me out of a funk. A good House Hunters International episode.
Yay. What about you, Holly?
Coffee, just like the running of it, like the sound and smell of coffee, like in the mornings, especially, or like when there's a real lull in the evening after I've settled things and carried on business. I don't know what it is. I have a touch of ADD, and like I'm like I have a touch of mania too, because I kind of grew up with like one of my parents was like bipolar. He had a personality disorder, and so he didn't have pills before he got pills later on in life for regulated it. So it was one of those things where I kind of got a touch of that, so I can be doing everything at once. And then when I drink the coffee, I'm just like, I just get this really good high, and then I'm dead. But like, I crash real hard. But the sound of it is pretty much the only, not a whole lot of things make me chill. The sound of that, like, is like a certain sound to it, like boom, 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 and it's like the burning of it going. It depends on also what kind of, I don't use Keurig. I don't believe in that. And like, there's instant coffee, of course, and all that stuff. But there's something about the smell of it and the sound of it going through the machine, going and hitting the actual coffee pot. Like, it's like, chill. This is the time where you don't hear anything but a drip, and you're just like, it's just like there's a break there, like, so that makes me happy.
Aw, I love that, Holly. See, I live in New York, so I can't hear my coffee maker. I hear sirens. I hear a homeless man talking to himself, being shooed away from a business. I hear police sirens as well as the ambulances. So, I fall asleep like, somebody's dying. So, like, really, when I go to the ocean, it's disturbing. I'm like, where's the ambulances? Like, what's going on? It's a little too calm. I don't know what to do. I don't know. But hey, I'm talking about beaches. Weather's getting warmer. Anything that you all are looking forward to for spring or summer, or you like to do when it's a little bit warmer outside?
My family's coming to visit me this summer, which is exciting.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And then my friend and I want to plan a girls' weekend to Vegas and just sit by the pool and do nothing. That's my favorite place. Like, a lot of people go to Vegas to party. I go to Vegas and I'm like, do not email me. I am by the pool with an overpriced drink and a book. Leave me the hell alone.
Love it. What about you, Kay? Any plans for warmer weather?
Yes. Well, I'm excited to hang out with my family. My daughter is coming home for a couple of weeks from college from New York. She got an internship, so she's going to be there most of the summer. But for the 2 weeks that she's home, we're going to try and live it up and have some fun, hit some beaches, do some California stuff that she hasn't gotten to do, the in and out, probably the Universal Studios, the beach, that kind of stuff. And then I'm just looking forward to hanging out, enjoying the summer, because I feel like this year has been trash when it comes to weather in SoCal. I have been so disappointed with the weather in California. I'm just like, this is not why I moved here. I pay a sunshine tax for a reason, and it's just been overcast and rainy and cold. We got like an extended fall winter deal, and so I'm just happy for the sun to be out, because I'm one of those people that just like thrives on sunshine. So I'm just happy for the sun to be out, for it to be stifling hot. I love that feeling of like getting into your car when your windows have been up and your car has been in the sun, and it's like 100 degrees and it's like almost asphyxiating. Like, I love that kind of oppressive heat. Like, I just love that. And I love getting in the car and feeling that when you come from like a cold place inside. So I'm just excited for all of the summer things, for the festivals that all happen in LA. Yeah. And so I'm just excited for the weather and just to be out in these streets. Yes.
And what about you, Holly? When it's warmer, do you have iced coffee or no? Because then you can't hear a drip. You have to have a cold drip at your house. I don't know.
Well, cold or hot, you'll just have to come over and find out, won't you, Sean? Right? Let's do it. Let's transition. Let's all have like a big beach day and barbecue day. I love it. You know, I'm from the South. Barbecues in LA are not like barbecues where I was from in my neighborhood. All the barbecues are in LA are on like the rooftop. They are on the rooftop, and you have to do it where the sunny side of LA, like where the perfect sun goes right into the water. Because I went to high school in Hermosa Beach, like at Miracosta High School, and so I was like right near a beach, and so like that was my high school life. I mean, not now, obviously. Or in the valley, right? But in the high school, all the beach, Manhattan, Hermosa, Redondo, all of that was like if you like hung out with your crowd, like if you hung out with your posse, it was like on a rooftop somewhere, and it was no one played beach volleyball anymore. Like beach volleyball, we're like, no, don't go down there. Like the professional people only played. Like you could not play, and you had to like time it when you played the beach volleyball. So no one really, totally different. So I don't know. I'm kind of just looking forward to traveling more. It's what I've been doing. So yeah, no special plans for me. No Caribbean cruise line for me, unfortunately. Just work.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do, but now nobody can tell you to get off the beach. Nobody puts Holly in a corner. You play that volleyball whenever you want. You enjoy that oppressive sun. That's what I say. You know. But for me, I'm going to go. I have family and friends in Florida, so I'm going to go visit them, go to Key West. I haven't been for over 20 years, so I want to check it out just because it sounds fun and quaint and something different to do. So I'm going to do that before summer hits. I'm here in New York, so I'm going to give it like maybe we'll go around counterclockwise, starting with you, Diana. Any final last thoughts or words for our viewing audience?
No, had a great time chatting with you all today, though.
Awesome, ditto. What about you, Kay?
I think, Sean, that this summer when you go to Key West, that you should try snorkeling, because I had heard they have beautiful snorkeling there. Have you ever done snorkeling? I heard snorkeling I love snorkeling. And so I think you might have a lot of fun with that.
I did it, the 20 years ago when I was there, because I have thicker legs and a booty. I was following this other guy who had thinner legs and a normal booty over like some coral in Key West. And we went snorkeling, and it was on a catamaran, and they gave you like as much as you could drink or whatever. So I'm drunk snorkeling, which was enjoyable, but we were seeing, and I learned from like SeaWorld, because I was growing up in Florida, that like nurse sharks aren't harmful, but they sleep on the bottom of the sand because other sharks have to keep moving or they die. So they have to keep the water through their gills. So we saw a couple like sleeping sharks, but like me and this other guy were following each other all around, or I was following him. And then all of a sudden I started seeing sharks move in the water. And, I didn't see a birth certificate. I don't know if that's the nurse shark trying to move positions or some other unfriendly friend. And so, all of a sudden, like I indicate to the guy, I'm like, hey, like, why don't we go back towards the boat? And we look, we're the only two idiots still in the water with the sharks. Everybody else was already back and partying. There's some people, like, because if the water's a little rough, like they get water clogged and they're like, oh, I don't want to do it anymore. So they give up right away. And so anyhow, so we go back onto the boat. Because the story is, I get onto the boat and I didn't feel it because I have like thick thighs. My knees were scraped on the coral. So there I was bleeding over Jaws. And I was like, oh my God. So I'm like, so now I don't know if I'm going to snorkel in Key West, but I have snorkeled since. But that's my snorkeling in Key West story, where we almost turned into the movie Open Water. Where
oh my gosh.
Two idiots are still out there and it's you and the sharks. Like, good luck, enjoy your trip, so.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to mail you some knee pads.
Yes, I'll take it.
I want you to live, Sean.
Yes, what about you, Holly? Any final thoughts?
I'm still getting over your story. I'm like, my skin has, like, I'm goosebumpy right now. Like, oh my God, like that happened to you. Open water happened to you. Like, where's the boat? you know.
Yeah, and the boat hadn't moved, but I mean, I could see how it would happen because, they don't care how much an hour are they getting. They already got your $50 or whatever it was for your 2 hours. So, they're not counting or worried. And then we were the only two idiots out. And when your head's into water, you don't realize like, oh, there's nobody else here. So yeah, I totally almost lived open water. Luckily, knock on wood, I'm here to tell the tale. My final thoughts, I found out that Barbara Streisand, she's 81 today, and Shirley MacLaine is 89. So happy birthday, ladies. And if you like obnoxious New Yorkers and would like to give a person named Sean P. Bennett a role, I am available for anything you'd like to use me for, Barbara. I love you. Hello, gorgeous. Shirley, I'll go out on a limb. We can meditate. We can talk to aliens, whatever you like. I'm here to be your new bestie. That's all I'm saying. And you both can buy my friendship. I am up for sale and my sale price is cheap. That's just how I roll. Okay, so that's my final thought. And I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. I'd like to thank beautiful Diana and Kay and Holly. Thank you, ladies. And everybody for tuning in. Have a great night, everybody. Woo! Bye.